A very good evening, everybody, from the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The setting for the 2024 Copa America final, the great showdown between Argentina and Colombia. And we are now in the final minutes before what is a very delayed kickoff here this evening. As you may be aware, there have been concerning problems backstage in the hours before this all-important showpiece for the game on this side of the Atlantic is set to get underway, but the players are beginning to make their way out. They have had 2 full warm-up sessions, sent back to wait following the decision by the authorities to delay the kickoff and indeed lock down the stadium shortly before the scheduled kickoff, which was 8 p.m. local time. The reason behind the scenes, safety concerns. Now we are getting on with the preliminaries. Stars of yesteryear involved on both sides. And that wonderful and historic trophy is what everybody is here to see contested on the field. I must be honest with you and say there were some serious concerns here which must not be overlooked. Ticketless fans reportedly breaching the gates here in the hours before the kickoff. A total sellout, of course. 75,000 tickets were sold, and there are also reports not just of fans rushing the gates and eluding security. There have been numerous arrests according to local police, many others apprehended, and apparently people receiving treatment from fire officers. Many reports of distress, people uncomfortable or worse in confined spaces outside. That is not the story I wanted to be starting with tonight. There have been suggestions even that some reporters were told to stop filming those scenes, but it is out there, I'm aware of that, and we can only hope that all will be well from here. A very unfortunate sequence of events, especially given in mind that the 2026 FIFA World Cup finals are to be staged here and in Canada and Mexico only 2 years from now. But here we go at last. And we hope that all will be well all around the stadium. It has been an incredible carnival waiting for this game to get underway. The issues outside the stadium will take a lot of investigating and hopefully the lessons learned, but for the time being the focus now on the football. And an enthralling prospect. Argentina meeting Colombia, fitting and perfect at the end of what in so many ways has been such a successful tournament across the USA, that we end up with the FIFA #1 ranked team, the reigning world champions, seeking now to retain the Copa America, Argentina, and the form team anywhere in the world, Colombia. 2 teams who've thrilled us throughout, and being perfectly honest, they always looked like they were destined to go all the way. And here we are. It began for Argentina in the tournament opener in Atlanta. That was an absolute sellout, as this is. Argentina rose to the occasion and have not looked back. Colombia stole the show in the group stages above all others in this tournament. They've had a much harder route through the campaign, meeting both Brazil and Uruguay, but unbowed. They've shown a hard edge to go with their exciting, enterprising brand of football. But we should have known all along, I think, what was coming. Let's remember, they came into this tournament having beaten Spain in March in a friendly, They've been on the march in the early qualifiers for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, just like Argentina, but no one can match Colombia's 28-match unbeaten run.
National anthem of Argentina.
Favor de ponerse de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de Argentina, interpretado por el compositor Abel Pinto.
Sean eternos los laureles que supimos conseguir, que supimos conseguir. Coronados de gloria y bravos, pobres con gloria morir, pobres con gloria morir, pobres con gloria
Please remain standing if you are able as Grammy award-winning artist Karol G performs the national anthem of Colombia.
Favor de continuar de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de Colombia, interpretado por la ganadora del Grammy, Karol G. En surcos de dolores el bien germina ya, el bien germina ya. Aurora inaccesible, júbilo inmortal. En surcos de dolores el si es una horrible noche, la libertad sublime derrama las auroras de su invencible luz. La humanidad entera que entre cadenas gime comprende las palabras del que murió en la cruz. ¡Ale Colombia!
A testing couple of hours for all the players concerned. 2 full warm-up sessions behind them. Emi Martinez, as usual, taking all in his stride. He's conceded just once in the 5 games to the final. He's also kept up his remarkable ratio of penalty saves in the shootout against Ecuador. They stick with the 11 that started the semi-final against Canada. Julian Alvarez, who got the first goal of the tournament, opened the scoring in the semi, and again he edges out Lautaro Martinez. The top scorer, Leo Messi, who turned 37 during the campaign, makes his 187th appearance. His goal versus Canada was his 109th in international football. He says he wants to continue, but strong indications from Angel Di Maria that he will be wearing the famous jersey for the last time here.
Danny Ocean as the official point toss presented by Powerade.
Damos la bienvenida a Danny Ocean como asistente oficial del sorteo del partido presentado por Powerade.
Rafael Klaus of Brazil gets the assignment as referee for the Copa America final. And James Rodriguez, who turned 33 only 2 days ago, in the form of his life, hopes to lead Colombia to one of their greatest ever successes here. Daniel Munoz, a major force for Colombia throughout the tournament, is suspended for the final, playing very heavily for a moment of ill discipline against Uruguay. He's replaced by Santiago Arias, who came on at half-time in the semi-final and did not put a foot wrong. Richard Rios, another star in this campaign, lived off at the end of the semi, but he's past fit. They mix power with panache in this Colombia side, all personified by Luis Diaz. Persistent, impish, brilliant in spells. He, John Cordoba and Jefferson Lerma have got 2 goals apiece. Argentina have had an extra day to prepare for this. Colombia had to put it all in, down to 10 men on the stroke of half-time against Uruguay. Hopefully, says Scaloni, the Argentina coach, it will not be a fond farewell to Di Maria tonight. They want to persuade him to continue. Messi says he takes it from game to game now. One or two question marks over Messi's fitness. Of course, he missed a penalty in the shootout, but let's be honest, doesn't matter much when they've got Martinez behind them. And under Messi, late in his career, can the swan song continue as Argentina seek to retain the Copa America? And this delayed final gets underway approximately an hour and 20 minutes behind schedule. Questions to be answered on all fronts there by the organisers. Hopefully there will be no further problems around the stadium, but let's hope for a great game. And it was a brisk start by Argentina and a bit of a miscue by Alvarez. Montiel got down the right. The Scaloni era, with his trusty assistants, Ayala, Samuel and the rest. An era of outstanding success, of course. But we cannot underestimate what the friend in the other dugout has done for Colombia, Nestor Lorenzo. Tagliafico. Went tumbling right in front of Lorenzo, a defender in his own playing days who featured in the 1990 FIFA World Cup final. And of course, in his playing days, had a spell at Swindon Town, but he is the brains behind this rebuild, so spectacular rebuild by Colombia. Argentina penning them back in the early stages. Jefferson Lerma just trying to wake one or two others up, I think, a little bit. It's so hard to know how players will react to what has happened here from their point of view over the last couple of hours. And of course, one of the issues elsewhere in the tournament, particularly in the Colombia-Uruguay semi-final. The scenes at the end provoked by Uruguay concerns about the welfare of their families in the confines of the stadium inside. That must play on the minds of many. Messi's corner. Rodriguez shut down. When they have been under pressure in this tournament, the confidence imbued in this side, Colombia, after this sensational unbeaten run, really showed itself. Never a moment's panic. 12 wins in the last 13 games. In fact, the last defeat for Colombia, which must feel like a very long time ago, in the World Cup qualifier for the last World Cup against Argentina in the spring of 2022. Very tight between the two nations in the last 5 meetings. 3 draws. Colombia beat Argentina in the group at the 2019 Copa America. Argentina edged that World Cup qualifier I mentioned, and they are yet to meet in qualifying for the 2026 World Cup. In fact, the first meeting comes up on the 9th of September. Rodriguez needed a bit more time than he was afforded there. Messi did well. Alvarez just broke stride. Of course, the biggest question in terms of selection for Argentina, how do you leave a player like Lautaro Martinez out, especially when he has got 4 in this competition for Argentina? But the strength in depth speaks for itself. We all know that for Argentina. And just a sense at the moment that Scaloni and co believe there's a better pairing with those two. But here's the man with the magic for Colombia. And Luis Diaz's first shot is well held by Martinez. A little man who has shown such big heart and huge hunger to take Colombia all the way. Luis Diaz in this tournament certainly played like a man who believes destiny is on his side after all his problems. The time perhaps for him, he feels, to repay those who stood by him when his family were suffering. And a major factor in the rebuild overseen by Nestor Lorenzo. While the world's attention was on Qatar, the tournament that Colombia did not qualify for, they finished only 6th in the last World Cup CONMEBOL qualifying section. But they knew they had the young players coming through, and Nestor Lorenzo and his staff got on with it. And now Colombia seek to do so. The chance is missed by Cordoba. Martinez doing his best to look cool. It's a great run that by Arias. A bit like Munoz, the man he's replaced. The flag stayed down, and Cordoba knew what he wanted to do with it. He actually clipped the outside of the post. Unlucky. He has won the argument to be the starter up front for Colombia, ahead of Rafael Borré, Duran and the rest, and he very nearly repaid Lorenzo's faith right there. Good response, and here come Colombia again with Rios. Rodriguez to Lerma. Out to Diaz. Argentina very wary indeed of what they are set to face here tonight. 2 games against Canada, who have been excellent incidentally in this tournament. Very game indeed, and only missing out on 3rd place in a penalty shootout against Uruguay last night in Charlotte. But 2 games with Canada, Chile, Peru and Ecuador, and I would say only one of those, the game against Ecuador, really presented Argentina with any kind of a problem. This most certainly does here tonight. Centre-back pairing undisturbed once more for Colombia. Sanchez and Cuesta. Arias in for Munoz, but he really knows his way around, as he has demonstrated already. John Arias out to Johan Majica. Colombia settling. Davinson Sanchez. Rios. Here goes Arias again. Diaz came flying in from the other side. It's a great piece of work that by Montiel. Colombia started to ask a few questions, and Martinez is happy to see that sail out of play. So Diaz as lively in the first few minutes as he's been throughout the rest of the tournament. Arias has made a great start. And his first full start, of course, in the tournament. And Cordoba has clipped the outside of the right-hand post of Emi Martinez. Carabao Tagliafico. Messi from deep. Looking for his old compadre Di Maria, just a shade strong for him. Di Maria now 36. Messi slightly older, 146th appearance for Di Maria. In fairness, it's not news, really. He did actually state last year that the Copa America would mark the end for him. But apparently, in the run-up to this final, Scaloni just had a word in his ear to say, listen, Messi said that in 2016 when we lost to Chile. Messi actually missed in the shootout, and heartbroken, he announced his retirement. He reversed it 7 weeks later, and he's gone on fairly well since then, which is putting it mildly. Camilo Vargas is the goalkeeper. Seldom troubled in this tournament. Comfortable victory over Paraguay to open the campaign for Colombia. Arias again getting forward. Safety first from Lisandro Martinez. An unaccustomed role as a goal scorer, Martinez, against Ecuador. Now, they play glorious stuff in open play, but Argentina have talked a lot about the power that Colombia present from their set pieces. Rodriguez takes them, and Davinson Sanchez and Jefferson Lerma have been more than a handful for every team in the tournament. And both have scored. Out the back it goes. They very nearly scored again. I think it's Cuesta. Carlos Cuesta couldn't convert it. That free kick to the back post, well, actually beyond the back post, has worked like a charm for Colombia in this tournament, and no team has been able to defend it. Montiel. Di Maria cuts in field for the first time with the ball at his feet. Gives it to Messi. De Paul to Tagliafico. McAllister waited for that, and he was caught as he did so. Rios has it. Rios hobbled out of the semi-final at the end of it, but looking as fresh as ever. There's a little pop at the referee there. Rodriguez might have asked him to make himself available for a pass instead. Backward by Romero. Martinez to Tagliafico. Colombia squeezing and winning the ball back. Rodriguez is caught in the challenge by Martinez. Much like Luis Diaz throughout this tournament, James Rodriguez has played like a man who believes this is to be his crowning glory, winning this tournament. Well plucked out of the air by Martinez. Di Maria trying to weave his spell. Stopped by Arias. Nicely done by Rodriguez. Terrific piece of work by McAllister. Took it clean off John Arias, but doesn't use it so well. Sanchez. For all the intricate football and the pacey interplay, they have Cordoba in the role of target man if they want to go a bit longer. On by Lerma to Diaz. Mojica on the outside. Sanchez. Arias trying to fizz it into the feet of Cordoba. He was shut down really well there. Fernandez. Spuriously backward by Rodrigo de Paul. Romero. A sense that Argentina are probing for weaknesses. Weaknesses in this Colombia side have been hard to find, quite honestly. And not just in this tournament, where they started with the win over Paraguay, coasted through the game against Costa Rica 3-0. Had the better of it in the 1-1 draw with Brazil in the group. Pummeled Panama in the quarterfinals 5-0. And saw it through against Uruguay. Rodriguez to Arias, and the first near thing of this final. That's a bit loose from De Paul. Great rescue that by Di Maria. Enzo Fernandez to Romero. De Paul again. Gonzalo Montiel is free on the right side. Messi steers a different course. Tagliafico, Di Maria, Argentina with men in the box. It's a great bit of build-up play. Messi couldn't finish it off. And Vargas particularly grateful. He was on his knees, the keeper, by the time it reached him. And maybe a little clip off the heels of Alvarez here. It was. Mojica spent last season on loan in Spain at Osasuna. Local family members, of course. The new home of Leo Messi and his family. Cuesta to Sanchez. They were unlucky, Colombia, to lose John Lukumi to injury in the first game of the tournament. I think the expectation was that Lorenzo would look to Yerry Mina, but Mina's only been used as a substitute during this tournament. They prefer to give Cuesta his chance. Top of the screen there, the CONMEBOL president, Alejandro Dominguez, upon whose shoulders responsibility will be placed concerning the incidents outside the stadium. Ultimately, he's certainly going to have to lead CONMEBOL through the process of investigating what went wrong. Forward by Sanchez. And all the way through to Martinez. Lisandro Martinez back to his goalkeeper. He's got a snazzy little tint in the hairdo tonight, a little blue and white flash. Unlike him, really, to look for the spotlight. Tagliafico touches it to Di Maria, and he goes about his business. Short to Messi, actually. Rios got to it. Mojica to Diaz. But it's almost as though De Paul has been detailed to keep a very close eye on Luis Diaz in the early part of this game by Argentina. Shuffled out to the right side. Di Maria, who started on the right, has come out to the left, of course. Maybe seen as a more creative place for him to be. Nobody's been able to keep Diaz quiet through this tournament, that must be said. And Rios tries to feed him, and his left back here, Mojica. Rodriguez. Mojica cross for Cordoba. Lisandro Martinez stood up strong. Start of the tournament, Mojica, left back, was by no means considered the automatic pick, but he has certainly grown like so many of these Colombia players. Nowhere near the same amount of big tournament experience in the younger players for Colombia. Reason? It's largely a new squad. The exceptions, Rodriguez, Cordoba, although Cordoba's had to spend most of the last decade fighting for recognition at international level. The power of Davinson Sanchez showed itself. John Arias did well. And now Diaz. Arias. Mojica. Lerma, first time onto James Rodriguez. Here goes Rios. He loves taking people on. He can beat people in a post box. Cordoba got across the near post, but he took a piece out of his man there. Martinez. And a yellow from the Brazilian referee for Cordoba for that challenge. Fist in there by Rios. The shake of the head says everything. But Cordoba now needs to be careful. Some might say defending in that little corridor there, it's an occupational hazard for Lisandro Martinez to be hit sometimes. Nestor Lorenzo's making that very point right now, I think. The fourth official, Benitez of Paraguay, is being told what Lorenzo thinks about that. There's some very good referees in the CONMEBOL region. Rafael Klaus may very well be one of them, but his only previous job in this tournament was Venezuela against Mexico, and he was the fourth official for Bolivia against Panama, and here he is in charge of the final. It's been quite a long day already for nearly everybody involved. The build-up all day in Miami, right across the Miami metropolitan area, electric. There's the evidence of the trip to the hairdresser for Martinez. Alvarez shut down by Lerma. Di Maria down here. Arias to Mojica. Jefferson Lerma. Weighed in with a couple of big goals in the tournament, Lerma. Davinson Sanchez was a goal scorer in the 3-0 win over Costa Rica. How about that from Diaz? Lerma, Rios. I mentioned the self-belief in these Colombia players, given this long run of success. I think we're seeing the evidence of it in this first half. They're not rushing the job. Argentina may be favourites, but anybody who has seen Colombia through this tournament, if not beforehand, would know that they can find a way, and have done more often than not. Arias turned, threatened to get away from Fernandez. Advantage played by the referee. Luis Diaz, Rios. Thought about leaving that and then didn't. Di Maria. And Colombia swarm all over him, and it's a foul. Minimal contact, but Di Maria made the most of it. Messi. Alvarez made his move, the ball didn't come. It drops invitingly for Luis Diaz. Sensational challenge from Romero there. Now it's Lerma. Lets one go. Martinez wasn't sure here. Colombia's fans all had their hopes up. He hits it beautifully. Fingernails from Emi Martinez. It may have been spinning away anyway, but it was close. So Argentina, like everybody else, has had the warning about these set pieces. It has to be an outswinger this time from Rodriguez from that Colombia left. Can Argentina cope any better than the other teams Colombia have faced? That looked to be heading right onto the forehead of Cordoba. Argentina with a free kick. Not from there, though, I don't think. Montiel to Messi. Enzo Fernandez. One player to keep an eye on perhaps tonight is Alexis McAllister, breaking from midfield. Been a real ploy for Argentina, and that was what Messi tried to do there, is to set McAllister free. Has it at his feet here, McAllister. Gives it short to Tagliafico. Di Maria. Messi linking now with McAllister. It breaks for Argentina. Leo Messi goes on! And Colombia see him off. Arias was after him and did catch him. The distress is obvious, but Messi, of course, knew what he was doing there, rolling back onto the field. Hopefully, for Argentina's sake, for the sake of this occasion, all will be well. Sanchez slid in first. Arias kept harrying and chasing. He did seem slightly apologetic, Santiago Arias, after the challenge. And even the Colombia fans are applauding him. It's, I understand, not the most hostile of rivalries within South American football, and not given the way that some of the countries tend not to get along. There's a fair history of common purpose in football terms between Argentina and Colombia, going back to the era when the game in Colombia continued outside of FIFA's remit. And during that era in the 1950s, many of Argentina's top players actually decided to go and play for some of the professional clubs in Colombia. I understand the breakaway from FIFA was around the issue of transfer fees in professional football. Colombia basically said, well, we think we can develop the game in Colombia better if we allow the clubs to trade without transfer fees, and they adopted that policy, which I guess in the era made the wages for some of the players slightly more enticing. But particularly Di Stefano was one of those, actually, who did go to play for a while in Colombia. That rift with FIFA, of course, did hold up the development of the Colombian national side and its profile in international terms. They didn't actually qualify for a World Cup until 1990, but they've made up for lost time since then. Mojica's cross showed too much on it for Cordoba, but Arias is there again, and he used it well. And here's Rios. Nice little feint again by him. Not the best outcome really for John Arias. So a bit more concern about Messi, who reportedly had this hamstring problem during the group phase. Rested for the third group game. McAllister. A warm embrace at pitch side between Lorenzo and Scaloni prior to kick-off. They won't be speaking to each other for the next hour or two, though. Lautaro Martinez is sent out by Scaloni. Luis Diaz. Rodriguez shut down. That's comfortable for Martinez. Clean hit though it was by Rios. Rios is among the Colombia players playing nowadays in Brazil. He plays for Palmeiras. Perhaps the most interesting scenario surrounds John Arias at the moment. He plays for Fluminense, who won the Libertadores in South America last season, and right now he's going back at the end of the tournament to find Fluminense on the bottom of the league. McAllister, Alvarez, Di Maria. McAllister to De Paul this time, and he leaves it for Messi. Montiel, nice build-up from Argentina, patient and considered. The next move is where it falls apart, though. Diaz, and again, Rodrigo De Paul almost deputed to mark him man for man wherever possible, did brilliantly. That's comfortable for Sanchez. Arias got away with it, but Argentina have it back. Fernandez to Montiel. Montiel and Tagliafico winning the selection argument. The two full-backs, they choose from four. Marcos Acuna and now Molina are the alternates. Nicolas Otamendi is the unlucky man when it comes to the centre-backs. Well, for now anyway. Here goes Tagliafico, he's brushed off it, free kick. Rios had a go, Arias. Very much of the mindset that they shall not pass. So one on Messi from him, now one on Tagliafico, and he probably needs to be a little bit careful now, Santiago Arias, and he's getting a little telling off and a reminder from the referee about that right now, I think. Messi's had the big chance that came Argentina's way in the first period. Not too many other moments for Argentina. Apart from that, not too many moments of concern all tournament for Colombia defending. Messi takes it, and over the top it goes. From Tagliafico himself. Got in the way of Julian Alvarez. Arias. Rios. Sanchez back to Rios. James Rodriguez. Conductor-in-chief normally for Colombia. Rodriguez. Arias. Not a very good touch that by Cordoba. Can't say he's silky smooth. Cordoba has other strong points to his game, of course. That is eventually seen as a foul. It's almost like Rodriguez made up the referee's mind by going down there. DePaul poked out a leg to try and win it. The whistle was a little bit slow coming, but a quick restart by Colombia as we head to 45 minutes. They might have done a little bit better to show a little bit more composure. Very nearly half-time. Shakira waits in the wings for the half-time show here in the Hard Rock Stadium. Cuesta, Sanchez has to get there quickly. Strong challenge it was by Sanchez and then by Lerma. Here's DePaul, and it's very nearly half-time. It is half-time. So Argentina, the holders, haven't got a firm grip on this one by any means. Messi's had a chance which he could not take. Hopefully for Argentina's sake he's okay after that injury scare. Toward the end of this first half, Colombia have come closer. John Cordoba hit the outside of the post, and a pile driver from Jefferson Lerma certainly tested Emiliano Martinez, but there's not much between them. The top two teams throughout the tournament, and nobody is going to yield easily here. It's Argentina 0, Colombia 0 at half-time in this much delayed Copa America final.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. So be wise and keep on reading the signs on my body. I'm on tonight, hey, 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 hey. I'm on tonight. Put your hands in the air, put your hands in the air, come on. I'm on tonight, hey, 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 hey. I'm on tonight. Ooh. Don't you see, baby, this is perfection. Oh boy, I can see your body moving, and a funny more half man. I don't really know what I'm doing, but you seem to have a plan. My will, my self-restraint have come to fail now, fail now. See, I'm doing what I can, but I can't, so you know that's a bit too hard to explain. noche, Dios mío. Por completarte me rompí en pedazos. Me lo advirtieron, pero no hice caso. Me di cuenta que lo tuyo es falso. Fue la gota que rebasó el vaso. No me digas que lo sientes. Esto parece sincero, pero te conozco bien y sé que mientes. Te felicito, que bien actúas. Eso no me cabe duda. Con tu papel continúa. Te queda bien ese show. Te felicito, que bien actúas. Eso no me cabe duda. Con tu papel continúa. Te queda bien ese show. Te felicito, que bien actúas. Bebé, ¿qué fue? Después que muy tragadito, que estoy buscándomela. Si sabes que yo erro y no repito. Dile tú no, bebé, que por hombre no compito. Que debe de estar tirando cadeno. Yo te tenía bonita. Este con la nueva me dolió, pero yo estoy puesta para lo mío. Lo que vivimos se me olvidó, y eso es lo que te tiene ofendido. Que hasta la vida me mejoró. Por acá ya no eres bienvenido. Y lo que tu novia me tiró, eso no da ni rabia. Yo me río, yo me río. Quiere volver, ya lo suponía. Dándole like a la foto mía. Buscando por fuera la comida. Yo diciendo que era monotonía. Quiere volver, ya lo suponía. Dándole like a la foto mía. Eres feliz con tu nueva vida, pero si ella supiera que me gusta todavía. Bebé, ¿qué fue? No busqué muy tragadito, que estoy buscándomela. Si sabes que yo erro y no repito. Dile tú no, bebé, que por hombre no compito. Que debe de estar tirando cadeno. Yo te tenía bonita. Las mujeres ya no lloran. Te come, pero te coge. Tú tienes buena puntería, sabes por dónde darme pa' que quede rendida, rendida. Tienes su estilo para llamar mi atención. Me tiras dardos, van directo al corazón. Y por más veces que trate, es imposible esquivarte. Tú tienes buena puntería, sabes por dónde darme pa' que quede rendida. Hasta que una más duele, a mí no me conviene, pero en tu cama la mía, todo eso a mí se me olvida. Que te pone el ojo, pone la bala, tiro el blanco y caigo como si nada. Pero si me roba 2 pesos, al tercero ya ni lo pienso. Paso toda la noche indecisa y despierto con tu camisa. Yo no sé si quiero parar y me derriten tus manos, me drogan tus labios, tus vicios me ponen 100. A ti nunca te dirijo, siempre llegas fijo hasta mi punto G. Tú tienes buena puntería, sabes por dónde darme pa' que quede rendida. Hasta que una más duele, a mí no me conviene, pero en tu cama la mía, todo eso a mí se me olvida. ¡Gracias!
certainly in some peril as they made their way in. We understand that all was well in the end, but that's really not satisfactory. And it follows on from the semi-final, which ended in chaotic scenes in Charlotte, North Carolina. Uruguay against Colombia, and there was a continuing investigation from CONMEBOL into the events there and the culpability or otherwise of the Uruguay players in particular. The Uruguay players believe that they are the party who is being wronged in all this, and they say they acted only to ensure the welfare of their families in the stadium. So lots and lots of issues away from the football, but who will emerge with the trophy at the end of this? Colombia have come close. It's a matchup, remember, between the two best teams in the tournament. Of that there's little argument. To a degree they've cancelled each other out so far. Messi took one troubling knock late in the first half, and he still doesn't look particularly happy. But he's set to continue. And Argentina continue in pursuit of a third major trophy in a row, defending the Copa America after winning the World Cup. Neither side has truly exerted dominance over the other. They've been a bit too good for most of the other teams in the tournament along their way to this final. But there's not much to choose so far between Argentina and Colombia. One player on yellow, and that is John Cordoba up front for Colombia. Not that Colombia thought that was a good decision either, you understand. Change of pace to the starting lineups when we got underway finally. Santiago Arias in for the suspended Daniel Munoz for Colombia. Well, the first part was promising from Alvarez, who might have opened up the game had he scored in the second minute. Been a bit quiet since then. Alvarez preferred to Lautaro Martinez for Argentina. James Rodriguez. Cordoba did well with that. That's fist past the post from Arias. A very confident strike it was. So Cordoba's clipped the post in the first half. A real pile driver from Jefferson Lerma, just kept out by Martinez. And a near thing now from Arias. Colombia still looking full of menace. Of course, tradition and history rests with Argentina as they seek their 16th Copa America title tonight, to move clear of Uruguay. Jointly they are the record holders at this precise moment with 15. McAllister got there once and twice. Di Maria couldn't finish it off. That break from McAllister from midfield has done for one or two teams in this tournament, and it very nearly did for Colombia there. Enzo Fernandez is getting a bit annoyed with Rios, who has a little tendency to play it up a little bit. Here's the break. Arias didn't get the challenge in on McAllister, but the ball ran away from him, and Vargas did a really good job. No panic there from the goalkeeper. Just closed the space down very well. But that's better from Argentina. Lisandro Martinez. McAllister. DePaul stays out on this right side for Argentina, keeping a watchful eye on Luis Diaz all through this final so far. Runs away from Montiel. Romero down. Cuesta to Sanchez. And back again. Launched in the direction of Arias. Launched second time by Sanchez. Now Luis Diaz out on that right side for a moment. Has been poleaxed there. Lisandro Martinez was the Argentina player. Luis Diaz suddenly popped up on the radar for Martinez. On we go. Tagliafico, over the top it goes. Di Maria. Sanchez so strong and so composed there. Just a little tester, it wouldn't have counted. Di Maria found a bit of space in behind. He's not been able to do that much tonight so far. Parked out on that left side, and Scaloni a moment ago was telling him to stay out there, far on that left side. I'm not sure this formation is actually giving Argentina the chance to show their best, but it's a show of respect to what they're facing tonight against Colombia. Di Maria again. Here's Messi. Shut down by Arias. Diaz is after it. I think he caught McAllister there. John Arias. Mojica. Cordoba came wide. Lerma. Rios. Arias. Rodriguez. Good passage of play from Colombia. Arias, that's deflected and will be a corner. Looked a bit hopeful, the shot, really. Now this has been such a potent part of the armoury for Colombia. These corners, it's back in there to fight for it. Oh, it's over the top. Sanchez it was. And yet again, this ball out to the back post is just too difficult for teams to handle in this tournament. It's a great rescue that by Cordoba. He got it right back in there and asked Davinson Sanchez to go and finish off the job. And he couldn't do it. He has done it earlier in the tournament. But it's a real worry for Argentina. Tagliafico. McAllister to Messi. Di Maria. It's over to Paul. Montiel gives it to De Paul. Not sure he wanted that. Wasn't a lot else happening there for Argentina. Romero's header, then it was Rodriguez, and now Diaz back on this left side where he spent most of the night so far. Again, De Paul was there waiting for him. Argentina get the free kick. Di Maria taking on Arias on the outside. Gets away from him really for the first time tonight. The pullback's not bad. McAllister went for it. Header's blocked. Appeals from Argentina. Fernandez got it to Messi. Alvarez. Cleared by Sanchez. Now De Paul. Quest to shut the door. Montiel couldn't get through, and neither could Argentina, but that was a moment of menace at last from them. Kept in play by De Paul. That gets the Argentina crowd going. And Di Maria's getting going now. It's turned around the post by Vargas. Good save, brilliant from Di Maria, and so unlucky. Suddenly he found top gear. McAllister came onto it. He appealed. Not many of the other Argentina players did so. Great bit of work, first by Di Maria and then by Vargas, who has not had too many saves to make, certainly of that quality, in the entire tournament. Beaten once against Paraguay. And once against Brazil, of course, by a rasping effort from Rafinha. The tempo's rising here. On and off the field. Pablo Aymar's acting as the peacemaker there. Jefferson Lerma's a very hard man to get past. In the crowd tonight, it's almost a case of anything you can do, we can do better. And now it's Argentina's turn off the field, apparently to be in the ascendant. That element to this occasion has been quite spectacular, I must say. Messi takes the free kick, lofted in there for Romero. He didn't get that far. Backward it goes from Fernandez. All the way backward from one Martinez to the other. Centre back to goalkeeper. A good win by Montiel, but a misplaced pass by De Paul. And possibilities now for Luis Diaz and Colombia. Cordoba's in the box. Diaz found Rios eventually. Kept the ball brilliantly, but Arias overran it. Now he uses it well. Up to Cordoba. Arias couldn't collect it. Rodriguez does. He's shut down by De Paul. Di Maria. Sanchez right up to him. Can Demir run past him? No, he cannot. Foul by McAllister. It's fast and it's furious. It's very hard fought indeed. I can't claim it's been a classic for the purists, but what we are seeing, the two best teams in South America and two of the very best in the world rankings, quite likely, giving it absolutely everything, trying to force the other to yield, and neither is in the mood so to do. We're even level on bookings now at 1 apiece. James Rodriguez with this free kick. Can he be as effective as with the corners? That wasn't particularly threatening, but Rios read it well, and Colombia have it back with Lerma, who's hit one already, and he fancied his chances there. Montiel shut down. De Paul trying to get away from Arias. Little lean on him by John Arias. Free kick to Argentina. He's got that smile playing around his lips, but there's always a little bit of menace attaching to it from De Paul. Argentina made a mess of that. Lisandro Martinez did well. Messi's gone down. The game goes on. Arias for Colombia. Out as far as Santiago Arias. Rios. Corner. This is a troubling moment for Argentina, however. Messi just buckling as he tried to give chase to Luis Diaz. It's over for Leo Messi in this Copa America final. And Argentina are going to have to find a way to do it without him. There was a little rumour about a hamstring problem through the group stages. Remember, he didn't feature, I think it was in the third game of the group. Scaloni was trying to reassure everybody that he was okay, but it may have given way there. So he'll only be able to watch from the sidelines to see if this can go Argentina's way. And he knew more or less at once. Looks like Nico Gonzalez is going to come on. Seemed like he was coping with the damage from the challenge from Santiago Arias late in the first half, but maybe not. On we go with the Colombia corner. There's a man down in the box now. Briefly, Lerma. Rodriguez. Great take by Emi Martinez. Just what Argentina needed. His reassuring presence. Almost found its way through to Alvarez, but not quite. James Rodriguez for Colombia. Sadly, it's bound to be one of the storylines of the night. There's tears everywhere, and hopefully it's not the end of anything. Just a brief interruption. But he so badly wanted to guide Argentina to a new high here in his current home. Seems scripted for him in Miami somehow. Not to be. Luis Diaz to Rios. Overplayed his hand a little bit, which he can do at times. Lisandro Martinez. Fernandez demanded it off him and used it. Montiel to De Paul. Alvarez as well. Now Di Maria's come out to the right side. Alvarez maybe didn't use that as well as Argentina needed. Diaz. Rodriguez. Rios. "28 games unbeaten, Colombia, and few signs they're going to be pushed aside easily here tonight by Argentina." Diaz away from DePaul, but it's handball. That is the after effects, I think, of the Santiago Arias challenge. Three draws in the last 5 meetings between these sides. Alvarez into the box. What a recovery by John Arias. He found another gear there. But is the decision actually a foul by Montiel? I'm afraid it is from Argentina's perspective. And he felt that. Di Maria takes over as captain on, of course, what might be his last appearance. And a second change in quick succession. Nahuel Molina. A consequence potentially later for Argentina if Montiel is off. They've lost one of their most reliable penalty takers. In addition to Messi, that is. At least Molina should be ready for the fray tonight. He started the opening game against Canada and the game against Ecuador, which was the only really serious test so far for Argentina. Wasn't a bad cross in. Cordoba went for it, couldn't win it. No holding back. And McAllister's the player down for Argentina this time. Hopefully not as serious as the other two. Still the nagging doubt for Argentina as the holders that they cannot get a firm hold on this final, that they cannot really exploit any weaknesses in this Colombia side. Now they're without their ultimate maestro, forced into another injury change, and maybe now a potential moment of breakthrough. But on reflection, not. That's a fairly token gesture, really, in terms of any appeal by Colombia. Córdoba laid it off nicely, Rios. John Arias. Diaz from the middle. Rios again. James Rodriguez. Appeal for a handball. On we go. Alvarez got it out to Angel Di Maria. Nico Gonzalez has hardly touched it, but can he jump well here? No, he's very good in the areas, Gonzalez, but he was out-jumped by the power of Davinson Sanchez. It dropped for McAllister for Argentina. Now Tagliafico. Fernandez. He's done well. Tagliafico, chance for Argentina. It's in! But it's offside, and Nico Gonzalez, great moment, will not count. The Argentina crowd don't know that yet. They're realising it now, I think. At last, Colombia were opened up, but Tagliafico's offside. Gonzalez on the stretch, tucked it home. I think Scaloni feared the worst. He didn't celebrate. Open and shut case. The voices you hear off are those of Colombia supporters, of course. On we go. Lerma. Diaz to Arias. Rios. Mojica. Lerma. James Rodriguez. Mojica had Molina in front of him. Molina did well enough. Di Maria to De Paul. Earned himself a throw. But this is just an irrepressible Colombia side. I spoke a lot about the belief in the team. What about the belief in the supporters? They can't remember their team losing. And they choose not to remember, if forced, that the last team to beat them was Argentina, but it's a long time ago now. 2.5 years almost. John Arias has won Colombia the free kick. At no stage of this final have Argentina really flowed for very long. Good bit of build-up play just now. They found a breakthrough, ruled out by offside. Alvarez had a couple of chances, but that's about it. Rodriguez with the free kick, and it's another promising moment And another potential opportunity, this time for Cuesta. And they don't take it. Cordoba was coming in behind him. Romero gingerly back to his feet. Tagliafico, McAllister. That's nice. Gonzalez shrugs off Arias. Nico Gonzalez goes into the box and then he slips. And Davinson Sanchez was on patrol. The top marksman remains in reserve. Lautaro Martinez for Argentina. That's given away by Cuesta. Fernandez, that's a poor pass. Cut out by Mojica. Rodriguez shut down by Molina. Found a way out, back to his keeper, Vargas. Just the sense that they're still bossing it in terms of possession, or Colombia, as per the stats at half-time. Lerma, last 10 minutes of the 90, there may be quite a lot more of this to go tonight. James Rodriguez. No way through, but it's a foul by Fernandez in the opinion of the referee, Rafael Klaus. Of course, many of these Colombia fans have never seen their team win the Copa America in person. That is a part of the reason for this frenzied belief this time. Here's Rodriguez, he went for the shot. Just that single victory historically, Colombia. It did come in their own country, but it's what, 23 years ago. And apart from that one tournament victory, incidentally a tournament in which they won every game, they're certainly not able to look Argentina in the eye in terms of achievement. One runner-up, 1975, they lost to Peru in a two-legged final then. 5 times third-place finishers, of course, including 2021. Nahuel Molina. Trying eventually to get it to Di Maria with no particular success. They're having to do this by a very hard route, Argentina. Rios takes it off Gonzalez. James Rodriguez. Luis Diaz trying to get goal side. Arias couldn't get to it. Colombia won a free kick out of it, but it's actually gone the other way. Every ball is being contested. Every decision is questioned. Every tiny advantage is being grasped by either set of players. But no, we have not had a free-flowing celebration of football in that sense. Fernandez. Gonzalez won it, but there's nobody reading his knock-on. Arias. Tidied up by Emi Martinez, whose main work may still be ahead tonight. But possession stat is more strongly in Colombia's favour in this second half, as one was entitled to expect. That's going to be a corner I rather fancy off Mojica's toe. Now, what cunning plan has Di Maria got? The crowd might wistfully be thinking of Nicolas Otamendi at this precise moment. He's started to show some late career form as a bit of a goal scorer. As McAllister and Arias exchange pleasantries. I think they're pleasantries anyway. They're not to be pushed around by any more. They're nobody's underdogs anymore, Colombia. Argentina found that out for themselves, if they didn't know it before. And the corner comes to nothing. Romero. Smashed up there by Sanchez. Too much on it. Rafael Borré is called forward by Nestor Lorenzo. Generally through the tournament, it's been either Cordoba or Borré. Borré missed a couple of great chances during the group, which probably swung the scales in the favour of Cordoba. But he's a good mover, he's mobile. Probably got a better touch on the ball. Di Maria, Gonzalez is going to go for this one. It's wide. A very good header of the ball, as seen so often in Serie A for Fiorentina. And indeed on their great runs in European club football. Didn't miss by much, but it missed. Kevin Castaño is also coming on with Borré. That's the end of this final for Rios. And John Cordoba also makes way. Rios does like to be in the limelight one way or the other. There was all his antics at the end of the semi-final. He made sure everybody had an eye on him there as he made his exit. Castaño has actually been playing his club football in Russia with John Cordoba at Krasnodar in recent times. We're not very far away from extra time now for the first time in the tournament, reason being that there was no stipulation for extra time in either the quarter-final or semi-final rounds. 4 minutes away. Mojica. It's fallen nicely for Argentina. And as cool as you like, it was Cuesta who sorted it out. De Paul. Fernandez did well. Gonzalez floated it in the direction of Di Maria. There wasn't enough on it. De Paul wins a throw. Is it time for a power play by Argentina? Kept largely at arm's length by Colombia. Could they possibly go and snatch it? They've been the one that's been vulnerable, actually, late in this tournament. One of the few signs of weakness. Late goal conceded against Ecuador. 1 or 2 late chances for Canada. Not going to do any harm in the stand at least, but it is a big, big push suddenly by Argentina. Colombia can't get going again. Momentum lost by those 2 changes perhaps for Colombia. Angel Di Maria. It's over the top. So that's 3 chances that have fallen for Nico Gonzalez. Just to modify the previous, it's a mile over the top. Smart piece of play by Romero. Nothing doing for Argentina. Romero won that well ahead of Diaz. De Paul. Di Maria. Looking for Alvarez. Coolly done by Arias. Castaño to Santiago Arias. Mojica's going to try and do the impossible. Never looked very likely. That is it. Messi can only play a watching brief. James Rodriguez has not been able to find the golden touch. Gonzalez has had chances late on to win it for Argentina. But we're going to turn to a new chapter as we head toward extra time for the first time in this 2024 Copa America. No breakthrough either way. An almighty arm wrestle it has been. They've cancelled each other out, to be quite truthful, in many, many ways. Don't think any side can claim to have been the superior in terms of possession. Yes, for Colombia, but in terms of the chances which came late, they all seem to come for Argentina, and they could not snatch the victory to ensure that they retain the Copa America. So it's still all up to be decided, either in extra time or then on penalties. And Scaloni has to find a way forward without Messi, who's a disconsolate figure on the touchline. Hope and belief and confidence intact for Colombia. And at this moment, so too, their very long unbeaten run. Néstor Lorenzo sent on Rafael Borré late. In normal time, he hardly got a touch, but yet may play a big part. And of course, further substitutions up his sleeve if required. So welcome back, everybody, as we prepare for extra time in this Copa America final. Néstor Lorenzo at this moment chooses to make his third change for Colombia. Juan Quintero. Now, James Rodriguez looked very upset, actually, at the end of normal time. Not that there's been much normal about this tonight, and this would not be considered normal from Colombia's point of view. If it were to be he, well known to Argentina supporters, of course. because he plays for Racing in Buenos Aires. See you later, he says to Vargas as they cross the two goalkeepers. So now we're going to get confirmation of this change. And it is indeed to be James Rodriguez. So the two maestros are off. How sad that is. Rodriguez looked distraught, I must say. Just like Messi earlier. So extra time underway. Little or nothing to choose between the two sides. Neither has been able to really cut loose. Neither's been able to dominate the other. Who can start anew and look fresh doing so? And remember, it's Colombia who had the day less to prepare for this, following their semi-final. Argentina did come on strong in the last few minutes. There's the evidence of the tackle by Santiago Arias, which appears ultimately to have ruled Messi out of this. Certainly won't be playing anytime soon for Inter Miami either. Mojica. On by Lerma. Castaño. Sanchez switches it. Oh, that was the idea. Johnny Arias gets that decision for Colombia. Scaloni still has options off the bench. And high quality, to say the least of it. Lautaro Martinez, of course, must register somewhere in his thinking. Castaño. Still with 3 cards to play, Scaloni. Diaz did well. Arias over the top for Borré, and Emi Martinez on patrol. Just got that little bit more pace about him than the player he's replaced tonight, Cordoba. And Colombia have the ball back. No free kick. Gonzalez to De Paul, who's kept a watchful brief defensively tonight. Here's Di Maria. Now he goes forward, De Paul. Carried it well, carried it brilliantly. What a stop on the line from Vargas, as Gonzalez is denied yet again. The longer it's got tonight, even without Leo Messi, the more Argentina look like they could carve out the chances, but they've not taken them. 3 or 4 have come the way of Gonzalez since he came on. It was a great move, might be said to deserve better, but no way through for Argentina. Here goes Mojica. Can he find a good cross? Comfortable that for Tagliafico. Well won back by Lerma, however. Who just pulled up a bit sharply, as though it's got a bit of cramp. Arias. Great work there by Lisandro Martinez. Turn to the Argentina fans and just showed them what for there. It could have been Nico Gonzalez' greatest night for club or country. Might yet be, of course, but how many more chances can he realistically hope to get? Vargas wasn't found wanting, and now it's 3-1 from Scaloni, and 3 of the top players for Argentina coming on all at once. Rather underlining, pretty much they're all top players. Lautaro Martinez, 4 goals in the tournament. Not really able to make much impact when it counted in the World Cup finals because of injury, but could this be his chance tonight? McAllister comes off. Lo Celso and Paredes also coming on. Enzo Fernandez and Julian Alvarez are the other players withdrawn. That looked very optimistic from Quintero. That was a very forceful challenge indeed from Lerma to greet Lautaro Martinez, but then Colombia gave the ball away. Lautaro Martinez is then taken out by Davinson Sanchez, and that might be trouble. They know all about Lautaro Martinez, and they weren't hanging back there. The 2 strong men in a row. Lerma followed immediately by Sanchez. Might take a bit more than that to stop Lautaro Martinez. Just a sense that Argentina themselves have a sense they're getting the idea of how to play against this Colombia side. Not that it's easy. And not that they are deterred at all. Long from Vargas. A new era for the Copa America, the innovative introduction of the CONCACAF teams to add to the 10-strong CONMEBOL contingent. Canada have been brilliant in this tournament. Flying the flag for the CONCACAF nations. But this now starts to feel very much like an old school Copa America showdown, where will and determination become the determining factors. Countries with huge support and huge pride in what football represents to their country. Tagliafico. Di Maria. That was another promising moment, but cool as you like, Vargas dealt with it. Argentina down to 10 for a moment. Now, did the referee see that challenge by Castaño? Argentina weren't very happy with it. That's Tagliafico hobbling back to carry on. It's Molina who's down. Somehow clutching his face. No sign of anybody flagging anywhere. 100 minutes on the clock. An hour and 20-minute late kicking off. A 25-minute half-time. A long day in the heat, even preparing for this game for the supporters, but you wouldn't know it. And here comes Arias. Took too long over it. Martinez will gather that, no problem. Denied Colombia the consolation prize there of a corner. Paredes. Lautaro Martinez got to it. Wasn't a great pass by DePaul, but Di Maria tried his very best to get something for Argentina out of it. He's down, game goes on. Castaño. Been a while now since Colombia created a chance in this game. Arias might have done a bit better, of course, had he hit the shot a little bit earlier in the last attack. Now a chance to attack again, a free kick. Quintero. Mojica, he crosses. It's not bad. Lisandro Martinez was there. And he turns as if to say, we could have done with stopping the cross. Luis Diaz was coming in looking for it. Quintero to take the corner. Swings it in there. Emi Martinez again has just taken control of that. Quintero has to live up to the standard set by James Rodriguez, of course, in the tournament, but Martinez is trying to nullify it all. Here's Lo Celso for Argentina. It's a great win back by Lerma, but it's quite telling that Lerma just pulls up in the centre circle. Quintero goes on and on. It's a great piece of work on the end of it by Paredes for Argentina. Now De Paul. Lo Celso. Argentina want to win this for Messi. Colombia want to win it for Rodriguez. Even in that sense, there's nothing between them. But Scaloni so agitated on the touchline, as if he senses that there might be a crack or two in Colombia's armoury. Borri working back, but he's fouled Lo Celso. Free kick to Argentina, nearly at the end of the first period of extra time. De Paul. Lautaro Martinez denied. Oh, it's a wonderful touch that by Quintero. He's in the mood all right. Is Luis Diaz. Into the box he goes. So far and no further. So now we pause again. Glimpses of opportunities have come and gone, but that's a good start by Quintero on for James Rodriguez, and he's the first to tell him that. Some great little touches. And he looks like a player that Argentina are going to have to think about very carefully indeed. And the concern now is for the powerhouse, that is Jefferson Lerma, who seems not to have much in the legs just at the moment. Maybe a little breather will help him. How demanding this night has been for these players at the end of this tournament. The anxiety factor with the families of so many during the long delay to the start of the game. We know that some of the players had to step out of the dressing room to make sure that family members were okay. Then the long wait to be told exactly what was happening, which can affect more people than others, of course. Then the 2 warm-ups. Then the long half-time. And now the extra time. And we all know what lies on the other end of this 15 minutes. This party won't be finishing until Monday. And I'm very aware back at home it's getting light on a Monday morning, at the very least. Miguel Borja makes his preparations as Nestor Lorenzo makes his final 2 substitutions. Make that 3. The additional one, of course, in the extra period of extra time. Matias Uribe comes to join Carrascal and Borja. So no more for 2 more of the main men, Lerma and Luis Diaz. No more that they can give, apparently, and John Arias also makes his departure. No change to the scoreline through this long, long night so far. But now a total of 6 changes made by Colombia. Scaloni and Argentina still have 1 or 2 that they could make. Carrascal's first touch. Sandro Martinez to Lo Celso. The longer it went, the more chances came for Argentina, largely for Nico Gonzalez here. Lo Celso. Di Maria was stationed out on that right flank. Ball may yet reach him, and does. Molina gives it to him. Molina in hot pursuit. Di Maria cuts in. Oh! We'll never know for certain whether he was trying to find the net himself or just set up Lautaro Martinez, but either option at this stage would be more than acceptable for Argentina. Can Colombia get it going again? Sanchez. Carrascal. Here's Quintero. Shone brightly, actually, in the first period of extra time. Mojica. That's nice. Fantastic piece of defending again from Lisandro Martinez. Borja cut in. Colombia cut their way through at last. Molina looked particularly concerned, but how about that from Lisandro Martinez? Quintero. All the way through it goes. Ball was just a little bit slow setting off after that, but it is a Colombia ball nonetheless. Castaño did enough. Change in the plot. Chances have come and gone for Argentina. And now it's Colombia starting to press. Short by Quintero. Carrascal denied. Quintero. Sanchez to Cuesta. Argentina win it. And the race is on. Very coolly done that by Cuesta. Molina seemed to have his measure, but he couldn't win the ball. Quintero, always giving it away. Lautaro Martinez, and Argentina don't use it. Di Maria keeps threatening tonight to be presented with the moment to sign off in the grandest of manners, and he was waiting for that pass. It didn't come his way, if indeed it is to be the end. Lautaro Martinez might do it. He's in on goal. He never misses. Lautaro Martinez for Argentina. Deep, deep, deep in extra time. His 5th goal of the tournament. And that is how to make up for missing out on so much of the glory at the World Cup when he was injured. So many others have missed. He never looks like he's going to miss. Messi smiles again at last, and Argentina are minutes away from clinching victory and retaining the Copa America. Lo Celso just asked him to go about his business, and he does the business again. One-on-one. Surely he's the best of all at this moment, anywhere in world football. And he's proven it time and again in this tournament. Inter Miami salute Internazionale of Milan. Their marksman supreme does it for Argentina here in Miami. And there's not very long to go. "28 games unbeaten, Colombia. Argentina were the last team to beat them. That doesn't help much for Colombia right now, does it, from Borja? Don't think there's any lasting damage for Lisandro Martinez. Irony in De Paul being the peacemaker after all that. Yellow for Borja. Martinez felt like a cheap pack of cards there. Not helping much, but Borja's not helping himself. And most of all, the sands of time dwindle now for Colombia. Another of the old brigade is being sent on. The last change by Scaloni for Argentina will be Nicolas Otamendi. They think it's done. It's not quite done. So tears for Messi earlier, and if it is the end, everybody should salute Angel Di Maria. He has told us for a year that he would finish here in the Copa America and not seek to go forward toward the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Potentially a great career ends, but there may be tears of joy shortly for him. Otamendi assumes the captain's armband after Messi and Di Maria in this game, which kind of tells you everything about his standing. Every time they go to the bench, they find another superstar, Argentina. Here's the substitute who may have won it for them. A former Argentine international, Nestor Lorenzo, is seeking to drag more out of his Colombia players here. He hasn't got long. Borja again. Forceful challenge, but the game goes on. Borré. Castaño quickly to his feet. There's not a second to lose for Colombia. There may yet be a twist and turn, given everything that's happened pre-game, during the game, during extra time. Who can be a hero for Colombia now? Martinez has come for it. Immense as usual. The booking was for Lo Celso. Certainly fell quite heavily, didn't he? Can Colombia carve out a chance? It's honestly been a long time since they've done so. The irresistible will of this Argentina team in this era seems likely to see them over the line. Nobody can say they dominated play for large parts, but they just kept on going. Everything learned from their failure in 2019. The savage and bitter taste of disappointment in that tournament. That's not going to trouble Martinez. Matias Uribe, who missed chances earlier in the tournament, needed to be more careful there. It's almost time up. Colombia have been so good on this long unbeaten run and so good throughout the tournament that even if it all ends here, they can look to their future with great optimism. 2 additional minutes. He doesn't look forward beyond the next day, he says now. Argentina never look forward, they just look to win the next game. Lautaro Martinez can finish the job now. Squeezed off it. But it seems like Argentina have an unbreakable grip on it. Ready to reclaim Copa America. It's all on this now for Colombia. Carrascal only got so far and no further. Anywhere will do. Argentina had to look deep inside themselves after 2019. The sequence of disappointments, the continual heartbreak for Messi, but Scaloni pulled them together, made them understand their great tradition better than anybody else, made them work for each other like never before, gave the new faces the opportunity which they have taken so amazingly well, blending with the old guard, even to the end now, working for each other, and surely seconds away from yet another major celebration. One more throw of the dice for Colombia. Argentina will not yield. Borja waits for it to drop. The 2 centre-backs were in there, Sanchez and Cuesta, and neither could finish it off for Colombia. Martinez thinks it's done. It must be done. Messi led them to new heights. Scaloni, in the spirit of Menotti, Argentina rediscovering the best parts of their history. Martinez says to the referee, call time. Argentina wait to celebrate. We're not getting much help from this referee at this point, I have to say. Sanchez went for it, Cuesta went for it. Lisandro Martinez was standing in his way as all night long. The referee appears to be waiting for some instruction from the VAR. Borja's on a very short fuse indeed. Lisandro Martinez walked away saying we've still got 1 minute to go at the end of this, what feels like the longest final in history. The 1 hour 20-minute delay because of issues in the stadium before the game could get underway. The 25-minute half-time, the extra time, and finally it ends! And the smile plays across the face of Messi and across the world for Argentina. Lautaro Martinez is the hero again. Argentina retain the Copa America. The world champions still on top of the world. Colombia beaten for the first time in 29 games. Unquestionably a team of the future. But Argentina have proven again tonight they are the team of this era. The FIFA world #1 ranked side did it without Messi. What a job by Scaloni. Blending the old with the new, making everybody feel important, telling everybody they have a contribution to make whether they start or not, and that is what we have seen here tonight as Lautaro Martinez comes off the bench to give the ultimate glory to Argentina. It was so hard fought, but on this occasion at least, Emi Martinez was not called upon to be the star of the show in a penalty shootout. It seemed destined to head in that direction. Lautaro Martinez had other ideas. A magnificent tournament for Colombia ends in great disappointment. It'll take some getting over, but Néstor Lorenzo does the right thing. They have nothing to be despondent about. And of course, very soon they'll get their chance again against Argentina when they meet in a World Cup qualifier in early September. But tonight here in Miami, led by Messi, the new king of Miami, like everywhere else, Argentina, world champions, retain the Copa America. That's maybe the moment when we should pick up again the smiling face of Leo Messi. Crestfallen not so very long ago during this final. Martinez slumping to the turf. Emil Martinez, that is, Lisandro Martinez, who was superb throughout tonight, as Colombia threatened to ruin this occasion for all these Argentina fans. James Rodriguez, who's had a quite magnificent tournament, but not the fairy tale finish he must have felt was his. And Lautaro Martinez completely overcome with emotion on the night when maybe we bid farewell to Angel Di Maria. But if he's going out on top of the world, as all these Argentina players seem to be once more. My goodness me, Colombia made it hard for them. But undaunted, Argentina just kept on coming up with new options, even when Messi had to go off injured. And it says so much for their indomitable spirit and the togetherness imbued by Scaloni and his staff. I guess when you've got the two senior figures, Di Maria and Messi, Di Maria, if it is to be his last, he signs off with a total of 146 caps.
Davinson Sánchez, no se logra ganar hoy, pero se hizo una gran Copa América y Colombia está orgulloso de ustedes.
Duele, ¿no? Duele. Después de un gran torneo que hace todo el equipo. Definitivamente sentíamos que merecíamos más, pero no es de merecimiento, tenemos que hacer el trabajo. Es el camino, sí, pero duele mucho cuando trabajas para estar aquí y competir para ganar.
Hay que levantar la cabeza.
Sí. Tenemos que darle gracias a la gente. Todos los partidos vinieron, nos apoyaron y eso siempre es importante. No queremos hablar de lo que pasó antes del partido porque no tiene sentido. Tenés que salir a hacer el trabajo, como lo dije. Son muchos sueños, ¿no? Muchos sueños, muchas ilusiones porque mucha gente lleva muchos años acá en la selección y algunos que ya no están acá tenían ese sueño, ¿no? De llegar acá y con todo lo mostrado, darle una alegría al país, ¿no? Yo creo que ese triunfo a ellos que lo merecen. Yo creo que Colombia merece todo y obviamente nuestras familias, los compañeros. Pero duele la manera porque ellos tuvieron chances, sí, pero dominamos gran parte del partido y nos vamos con las manos vacías.
Gracias, nos invitaron a soñar.
No, hay que seguir.
And who else to respond?
Bueno, dame sensaciones de una película perfecta.
Di Maria for Argentina. Briefly captain, of course, after the departure from the action of Messi.
Te puedo decir lo mismo que venía diciendo, estaba escrito, era de esta manera. Se lo dije anoche a los chicos en la cena. Lo soñé, por eso dije que era la última Copa América y se terminaba acá. Soñé que llegábamos a la final, soñé que la ganaba, que me retiraba de esta manera. No sé qué decirte, la verdad. Tengo tantas sensaciones hermosas en el cuerpo que nada, como le dije anoche también a los chicos, estoy eternamente agradecido a esta generación. Me dio todo, me hizo lograr lo que tanto busqué y hoy me voy de esta manera. Qué mejor que así, ¿no?
Costó mucho. ¿Por qué salen tantas veces campeones?
No, parece fácil, pero es muy difícil. Lo sé porque viví del otro lado también durante 10, 11 años, luchándola, peleándola. No es fácil llegar a las finales y ganarla. y ahora se está dando. Es así, en algún momento tenía que pasar y lamentablemente, se lo dije a muchos de los chicos de la anterior camada, me hubiese gustado poder ganar también una con ellos, lo merecíamos también, pero bueno, se dio en este momento, seguir insistiendo, seguir peleándola y estos chicos me dieron todo.
Le diste un abrazo con tu gran amigo, con Leo Messi.
Sí, la verdad que no estoy contento porque bueno, tuvo que salir de esa manera por el problema del tobillo, pero por fin hoy pudimos ganar nosotros a él, darle la alegría a él y nada, creo que fue redonda, una noche redonda.
Te felicito por tu carrera, abrazo gigante.
Muchas gracias.
So we're well past midnight, but they're not flagging just yet. Thank you everybody who stayed with us. Back at home, Argentina's final moment of triumph. But I say again, what feels like the end of the longest final of all time is now upon us. What a job done by the backup crew, Pablo Aimar, Walter Samuel, Ayala and the rest. The questions remain to be answered about how this event was managed earlier. Feels like a very long time ago, 6 in the evening local time, when the first issues outside the stadium were reported. To repeat, according to local reports, up to 7,000 people worked their way in here without tickets tonight. That cannot go without further investigation, of course, particularly because the USA will host the FIFA World Cup along with Canada and Mexico when Argentina start to defend that trophy. Other questions, of course, about how this tournament has developed, the pitches, and you can even have a look for yourself close up at some elements to the management of the games certainly needing addressing, but there is no mistaking the tremendous enthusiasm for all the competing countries and the amazing levels of support that so many of them will enjoy. And whatever about the management on the day, these huge stadiums lend themselves to great occasions. But another thought from me, if I may be permitted, with an extra round to be played at the World Cup, the round of 32 knockout, does consideration now need to be given as to whether there should be extra time or not? And the CONMEBOL decision to only have extra time as a stipulation for the final itself probably is worthy of further consideration, given the very demanding conditions, air-conditioned stadiums or not. All those quibbles to one side, we've seen the #1 team in world football living up to their reputation. They didn't play their purest brand of football, but they showed they have all the mettle, the backbone, and the willpower to go with all the ability, all those other ingredients to the champions' makeup, and they have made themselves into the champions of our time. One way or the other. The oldest international competition of all. Going all the way back to 2000, all the way back to 1916. The centenary was in 2016, of course. Each one of these modern day competitions in this format wasn't always like this, two-legged finals for very, very many years, but in this proper tournament format, every tournament is so hard fought. It means so much This time round, a new element as CONMEBOL invited in 6 countries from CONCACAF. Canada rose to the occasion magnificently to finish 4th, beaten by Uruguay only on the slimmest of margins on penalties. Colombia finishing above Uruguay, having seen them off. But denied the ultimate glory here.
We now recognize the Colombian national team as the winner of the Fair Play Award of the CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024.
Realizamos ahora el reconocimiento a la selección nacional de Colombia como el equipo destacado de Fair Play en esta edición.
Not the accolade they wanted tonight, of course, but how mightily Colombia have contributed to this tournament. And the world is fully aware of their capabilities now. Of course, they are the team to beat Spain in the friendly they played in March. Maybe from that point on, people should have taken closer notice of what they were doing and how they've done it.
We now recognize the Colombian national team as the winner of the Fair Play Award of the CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024.
Realizamos ahora el reconocimiento a la selección de Colombia como el equipo destacado en Fair Play de esta edición.
James Rodriguez has had a simply splendid tournament. Past the age of 30, still with so much to give for his country. Looks like Martinez is in for another award. Emi Martinez, that is. Quite a few of the Martinez in this Argentina squad.
We invite Emiliano Martinez
every reason to be pleased with themselves.
goalkeeper
Best goalkeeper.
Copa America USA 2024.
Invitamos a Emiliano
Funny how he keeps showing up when the big trophies are on offer. Just 1 goal conceded throughout the 2024 Copa America. He's collecting the individual awards as quickly as the team awards.
Lautaro Martinez to receive the award for top scorer of the CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024.
He gets the winning goal in the final to add to the 4 along the way. From one high point in his career to another, Lautaro Martinez, embraced by his president here, embraced by the fans back in Milan of Inter as one of their all-time great strikers. He finds it hard to get a start for his country, seemed overcome with relief, happiness, a whole pile of emotions coming together at the end of the game, but playing his part like a good team player, even if frustrated to be left out. Who would not want to be in the side?
We invite James Rodriguez to receive the award. Congratulations, James Rodriguez.
And not every award goes to Argentina tonight. Player of the tournament, James Rodriguez. It did not end as he must have hoped it would do, as all of Colombia hoped it would do. But the level of his performances throughout the tournament, rightly recognised. Guide, mentor, orchestrator, inspiration for Colombia. but he can hardly bear to smile. It's not what he wanted.
We now acknowledge the referees of tonight's Copa America final. Let's have a big round of applause for the match officials.
Ahora hacemos el reconocimiento a los árbitros de esta gran final. Un fuerte aplauso para ellos.
Very few have left the stadium even now as we wait for the main part of the closing ceremony.
The delegation of the runner-up team to receive their award from the president of CONMEBOL.
En este momento, invitamos al jefe de la delegación de Colombia, equipo subcampeón, a recibir el premio de manos del presidente de la CONMEBOL.
What a job done by Néstor Lorenzo in recent times for Colombia. Again. What a job done by Néstor Lorenzo in recent times for Colombia against the country of his birth, the country he represented at the top of the game, of course, tonight. But all he wanted was to be going back to Colombia with the Copa America. They've still only won it once in their history. But for whatever their history, the future could not be brighter, despite the disappointment of this night here in Miami.
Congratulations, Colombia!
I'd go so far as to say they could make a very big mark indeed 2 years hence, back here. Such a hard-fought game, but until the very last few minutes, it always stayed on the right side. Great respect between the two sets of players. So many unknowns, bringing a group of players, largely young players, together for a tournament like this. They'll be so much better for the experience, surely. I'm thinking back only, what, maybe 3 years, nobody surely could have foreseen the progress made by Colombia. Yerry Mina didn't feature tonight, and I'm afraid the man in shot here, Muñoz, who was brilliant in the tournament, ruled out by suspension. His own fault, I should add that. Luis Diaz, like James Rodriguez, surely has had dreams denied tonight. Ospina, the backup goalkeeper these days, to the excellent Vargas. A squad of very high quality and every reason to be very ambitious. Great tournament from Davinson Sanchez and the talented Rios. Be interesting to see if he can take a step forward in his career in the next couple of years. But they must stand and watch and wait to see Argentina collect the trophy. They don't need the guidebook anymore, do they?
At this moment, we invite the head of the delegation of the winning team to receive the award from the president of CONMEBOL.
En este momento, invitamos al jefe de la delegación del
Leaders on every level, but the ultimate leader surely stands up alongside Menotti. Bilardo now. Scaloni does it yet again. And still looking fresh, still looking to the future all the time. An immense job done. Yes, he's had the backing of the power brokers. Yes, he's been able to handpick his staff. Yes, he's been gifted one of the all-time greats and several others greats in their era. But he has had to manage it all and build out the squad and build the togetherness. A magnificent job. And it continues.
Invitamos al campeón de la CONMEBOL Copa América USA 2024 a recibir sus medallas. Adelante, Argentina.
Aimar, Ayala, all top-line players setting the standard for this group, but obviously all through this group, individuals who set the highest standards for themselves, led by Di Maria and of course Messi. And if it is to be the end for Di Maria, this surely is how he kind of hoped, only hoped it would be. Maybe we'll see you again in 2 years, says Dominguez. We all hope so, but he knows what's best for him and his family, the massive sacrifices everybody makes. The match winner tournament decided tonight. But everybody has played their part. Otamendi seems to have a season ticket to these big occasions, doesn't he, as a winner these days? And the young players, so talented. Lisandro Martinez times his return to the top very well indeed, as he did at Manchester United. Martinez up for another gold medal. Emi Martinez. Among the winning contingent from Manchester City on this big weekend, here and in Europe. Julian Alvarez, Nico Gonzalez might have spared us all the extra time, of course, had he taken the chances late on. Certainly made his impact off the bench. And one for the future, going back to the other side of Manchester, Ale Garnacho, who made a full competitive debut during the tournament. So it was Di Maria first, Messi last. Every day we have him is special. And after all the years of setbacks and disappointments, remember when he said in 2016, I can't take any more. After they were beaten by Chile in a shootout, he missed. He retired. The retirement lasted only 7 weeks. And look at the difference he has made since then. And all the individual awards, almost too numerous. Many of them at Barcelona, of course, with that great team. More than 30 trophies he won there alone, but winning with Argentina, always something extra. Because it's been hard. He's had to dig so deep so often. Had to accept the disappointments when in his club career there was always somebody else to win the big games. Hasn't always been like that. But surrounded by his long-time international teammates, Otamendi and Di Maria, Messi is going to take control of the trophy again. So Argentina, we salute them. They win the Copa America 2024, now 16 times the champions of South America. This tournament, different to any other. They found a way to win it once more, and now they stand alone, Argentina. It's a record 16th victory, moving clear of Uruguay, and what a record run of success. Copa America, FIFA World Cup, Copa America once again, and they'll be back here to defend the FIFA World Cup in less than 2 years, perhaps even as favourites. Argentina end this great tournament on top of the world in every sense right now. France and Mbappe fell in Europe. Italy got nowhere defending their trophy. But Argentina just keep on going. However big the challenge, they're willing to rise to it. And of course now a finalissima in 2025 most likely against Spain, the new champions in Europe. But the final images tonight here from Miami, and thank you everybody for staying with us all night long back home. Argentina cut it short at the end at least. No penalties required, thanks to Lautaro Martinez. It's Argentina's trophy once more at the end of a great tournament. For all the problems, there was so much to enjoy. Issues to solve going forward for the organisers, most certainly. Questions still need answering, but Argentina have answered every question yet again. Thank you for being with us on Premier Sports, everybody. And from Miami, from me, Paul Dempsey, good night.